Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Another week, another show. It's Geekonomics. We're here with you to talk all things going on in the world of nerd. It's Mark. It's Bryon. How you doing, Bryon?
Mark, I feel like I just saw you.
I know. I feel like I see you more than I see my wife at this point sometimes. That's not a good thing.
It's not my fault.
I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying it just seems like lately we've been seeing each other continually.
I know. Stop doing things.
Okay.
We did have D&D, which we'll talk about.
We will.
That's why
Yes.
we literally saw each other until Sunday morning.
Yes.
Yes. I'm doing good, Mark. We got lots to talk about today. It's kind of like an off week, which is good for us.
Yes.
Next week we'll be doing our Bash and Berlin predictions.
We will.
Things are heating up, and
I have 1 point behind you going into this, so
yeah, things are heating up
gonna start paying attention.
point-wise. But I also think that SmackDown, even though Raw is my favorite wrestling show of the week, I have to say SmackDown has recently gotten really interesting. So, like, it's turning the tide for me. I'm getting more involved with the storylines. Our producer is now running through this
in the
room naked.
What? Don't say it.
Ew. He's too. It's got too steamy in there for him. Thank you, Josh, for making that quick change.
You got the air conditioning.
Mark,
did Bryon move? Is that what happened?
Yes. Before I'm trying my best to
Son
stay
of
still.
a-
Before we get into D&D
Yes.
and everything, how was your week, Mark?
It was good.
Because I got a few things to talk about, but I'll let you go first.
It was
Watch
good.
anything?
I did. I've watched the final season of Umbrella Academy.
Yeah. How'd you think it fared?
It started out great, ended terribly. I didn't like the ending. It's like they feel like they've mailed it in at the end.
Well, we had this discussion
I at least
before.
said the same thing.
The comic,
Yeah.
that last
Well, I know the comic
book,
ended.
The last book
Yes, it
was
was only 3.
I honestly could not understand anything that was happening in
Yeah.
that.
It was only
graphic
3
novel.
volumes of the comic.
Yes.
And the 4th season was good. It was heading somewhere with at least a decent conclusion, and then they kind of just like mailed in the ending.
Really?
Yeah. It's like they kind of just like sputtered out. Like someone was just like, I'm bored. Let's go home.
Like,
It's like that's all it was. It was
they're
like
building to something, and
they're
then
building
just
something
wrapped
and just
up.
like that. It was over.
Really?
Like they just came to a conclusion and just decided to. I mean, I'll spoil it. Spoiler alert.
No, I want to watch it still.
okay.
Don't spoil it for me.
Okay.
I still want to give it a fair shake. Like I've heard good things.
It's all right.
I mean, I heard.
The season was good
Would you say, okay, what would you give it as a whole?
as a whole. The whole series.
Yeah. I mean, I heard season 3 was the worst season out of all of them. Right?
Season 3 kind of meandered.
Yeah, people weren't 100%.
Wasn't
in.
great. They did the hotel, which was, like you said, the last book.
Yeah.
Was kind of
Crazy.
all over the place.
It really was hard to follow.
So was the 3rd season.
Yeah.
Was kind of all over the place. So it was very much similar to the book.
Now,
They ended it with a little. They ended it basically the same way the comic book ends.
okay.
So there's that.
There's that.
So then this one takes place after that event happened. So this is all new stuff.
Yeah.
And they did a good job of like telling the story and everything. But the way they kind of just like wrapped it up at the very end. Like literally it was good up until like literally the last 10 minutes of the show.
Interesting.
It did a hold my hand for a second.
Oh.
They did a Game of Thrones is what I thought. I'm like, oh, they Game of Thrones it.
They put like Game of Thrones it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, they went off book and they didn't know what to do. And they
Right.
didn't know how to end it correctly.
Yeah. It's tough.
So they just kind of like MacGuffined it and just been like, all right, yeah, we're done.
Tied
Now,
everything up with a bow. And so, we're
was
done.
They didn't give it a good ending. Like it wasn't. There was no. I was literally sitting there. I'm like, oh, they just didn't give them any kind of conclusion. They kind of just like ended it just to end it, so to speak.
Now, to go off of this, I'm interested now. What would you consider, you personally, what were some of your favorite endings to some shows? of recent memory.
Recent memory?
Yeah. What are the endings of shows that kind of like hit you? You thought they did a good job.
Ted Lasso was a good ending. I'm trying to think of shows that ended recently.
Or any ending of any show that you still
Cheers.
look fondly on.
Cheers, I wasn't a fan of that ending.
You weren't a fan of the Sorry
I know.
We're Closed?
I was.
I know
liked that
people
ending.
liked it, but I was like, oh, that's kind of copping out.
Well, it wasn't. I don't think.
MASH had a great ending, of course, but that's like the top of the line. Scrubs' original ending was good.
Yeah, they ruined it with the next
The
season.
going to ABC was terrible, but the actual ending
Yeah, the final episode was fantastic.
when they went off ABC,
That's what I was going to say.
that was bad. God, I can't even think of shows that ended. How I Met Your Mother had a bad ending.
Yeah.
Wow, what shows ended recently?
I mean,
Letterkenny didn't really end.
that was the final.
I know,
season.
but it was kind of like that show never really had like a beginning and end kind of thing. It was kind of like just a.
But it was a good
It was like
celebration.
a mockumentary kind
It
of
was
thing.
a celebration of the characters,
Yeah.
and then having the
Yeah,
raid
that
was,
was a
a
good
callback
ending. Yeah,
to
that
the
was a
very
good-
first season.
It was a decent ending.
was a
wasn't
nice-
great, but it wasn't
But
terrible.
it left it open.
Yeah, so they could come back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I can give you a couple of my favorite endings while you're thinking.
Because there's so many shows I watch now, and so many shows we watched.
You watch Suits.
I
How
can't
did
keep
Suits
track.
end?
Suits kind of, well, like I said, I mentioned that when we talked about it. It kind of had a dud ending as well. It kind of just,
Ended.
well, they kind of just like they set it up because there was a spin-off of the show, so they kind of set it up for that. Like they were planning a spin-off, and they never ended up not doing it, or it didn't really take off.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that's kind of how they kind of ended it, like that.
Interesting. I mean, for me, I have my favorite endings. I think endings that still sit with me to this day. The Leftovers. To this day,
See,
I still
I
think
stopped. That show was just bad.
well, I'm telling you my
I know, I'm
favorite.
just telling you.
Leftovers for me is one of my top endings. Also, the final season 3 of Twin Peaks was a crazy ending that I still think about. I also really one of my favorite shows of all time, Breaking Bad. That ending was amazing. I think Cheers had a great ending. As a kid watching Cheers, not knowing everything, but when I did my rewatch the last couple years, it made more sense to me. So I do like the Cheers ending. The show that just ended currently that I thought was a really great ending was Curb Your Enthusiasm. They basically retconned the Seinfeld ending, which was funny. So I did like the way Curb ended. And you mentioned some bad endings that like How I Met Your Mother was kind of a it was a tough one because they wasted so much time at the wedding. And then they blew up that wedding because those people got divorced.
Yeah.
So why did you just make us spend a whole season at a wedding for characters that were just going to divorce?
Yeah.
Anyway, that show could have ended better.
You know what show? There's a show because I'm going through now and seeing what shows ended or were canceled.
Yeah.
So they ended. Like Our Flag Means Death had a decent ending.
You know what? It had a nice ending, but season 2 was not as strong as season 1.
No, for sure. I understand why it got canceled.
Season 1, what they did in season 2 is kind of retread some of the stuff they already did.
Yeah.
And it was a nice ending. Like, don't get me wrong, but I feel like season 2 could have been a little bit better. But overall, enjoyable show. Enjoyable.
I think the main problem is a lot of shows didn't end. They either got canceled or they got spun off into something else.
I just saw a show I liked got canceled. I'm kind of bummed about it now.
What?
Not Dead Yet. I like that show. It was goofy.
I don't even know what that
It was on
is.
ABC. I used to watch it on Hulu, so it was like a random. Young Sheldon's ending was okay. It wasn't terrible. That was a pandemic watch.
But that's what I mean is a lot of the shows that
Young Sheldon literally just
they
ended
don't
this
really
year.
end anymore.
No, I know, but I started watching it during the pandemic, and when Claire had her When Claire broke her leg, I rewatched all of Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
Because she was sleeping downstairs, and I was like sleeping upstairs, and I was like, this is weird, sleeping in a room by myself. So I had to have noise going on. So I just put Big Bang Theory on. So I just rewatched the whole series. So then I was like, oh, well then I just burned through that, and I was like, oh, Young Sheldon. So I watched that.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I have my favorite endings. I have other ones too, but recent memory, where a lot of shows are just started or in the middle. But so you're just saying Umbrella Academy, it didn't have the ending you were hoping for.
You had a good ending, Sweet Tooth. I know you're not a fan of it.
No, I just stopped.
I think you should give it a second shot when you get back on Netflix. Season 2 was better.
And
then season 3 was good and it ended really well.
There were 3 seasons?
Yeah, they just put out a 3rd season.
Oh my lord.
They just wrapped it up. That was good.
I was kind of hoping for more gritty, less kiddie.
It gets grittier. It got grittier in the 2nd season. And the 3rd season's pretty good.
Because the graphic novels are very dark.
This 2nd season's very dark. It gets darker. They definitely were trying to rope people in.
I'm amazed that Netflix gave it an ending.
Yeah, they did, yeah. They gave it a nice ending, too. It was good. That was a good ending.
But I'm just saying,
better ending than most.
Netflix just cancels things, so nothing ever really ends, it seems like. You know
no,
what I'm
I feel like that, because there was only one book, really. It was Sweet Tooth, wasn't it?
There was multiple books.
Yeah, I think they just did that. They just went through the books.
Yeah.
But that was good. But yeah, Umbrella Academy. It's not like it wasn't a terrible show. The show was good. Like I said, the season was good. Got to the end and it kind of just pooped itself. So, like you were saying, we'll go back to, you asked me how I would rate it. I'd probably give it an 8.
Overall.
Yeah. I would have gave it a 9 if it hit the landing.
Hit the landing, right.
But it didn't.
It's not bad.
Yeah. For a full series.
Right. No, that's not bad at all.
Yeah.
I do want to watch. Don't ruin it. I do want to give it a shot.
Because I like the books.
Yeah.
One thing they did in the last episode, towards the end, and you'll see, this isn't really a spoiler. It's more of just a funny thing, is their climactic things they were doing. They played Jared Way songs, basically. It was just here's some Jared Way. Here's some My Chemical Romance.
Well, I heard the 3rd season has more of his music in there.
Yeah. I wonder how they got that cleared.
Wrote in season 3 at all.
No.
I wonder if he had any part to do with
Nope.
it. No?
I didn't see his name on any of the writing or written by.
But
I didn't really I didn't pay that close attention, but
right.
At the beginning of each episode they do the, written by.
Right.
It wasn't any of that. So I think he kind of approved it all, but I don't think he had any real.
Yeah, he's not the showrunner.
Yeah.
No stakes in it.
Yeah. He's not like Kirkman where he takes over everything.
Right. Anything else, Marcus?
No, besides that, like I said, we did D&D on Saturday. Friday, I did another Lego workshop at the Tron Museum.
Oh, how'd that go?
It was busy. We had 12 people sign up for it.
I think you were going to say 1,200. I was like, whoa.
No, that'd been a lot. But no, they kind of what made it crazy is a couple of the people showed up late, and some people didn't know where to sign in, so they came in late. So it's kind of like a staggered starting of people. So that kind of threw things off of my usual, most I've had for the other ones is 2 or 3. So it's a little easier to corral 2 or 3.
You say the word 12. You say 12. It doesn't feel like a lot, but you see 12 people in a room. That's a lot.
Well, it's 12 kids.
That's a lot.
11 kids and then one adult who was disabled. So, which was fine, whatever. But it's 12 kids and their parents.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And if they bring, the parents have younger kids, they brought the younger kids with them.
Yeah.
And then they usually have a grandparent or another parent. So there's a lot of that. So it's a wide range of age groups to deal with. So it's because it's open to 8 to 12. So you don't think that's a wide range of kids, but the, I don't want to say maturity level, but development level is a wide range. So that's the interesting thing, is trying to keep the older kids interested while you're also trying to keep the younger kids interested at the same time.
Right.
So that was a thing. But no, it was great. We did the build, then we did a tour-ish. Usually I do a full tour, but this one I kind of just like, here's the museum. Because they're all over the place, and they were all kind of like at different parts of stages of building.
Yeah.
So some of them just went off and did their own thing for a little bit, and then we gathered back up and stuff. But no, everyone had a great time. I still have a couple kits left.
Mm-hmm.
So
Nice.
hopefully we'll do one closer to the holidays.
Oh.
Yeah.
What about Halloween? Because Charlie Museum's got the big...
It's an ornament is what we're building. So
Oh. You got to think of something, because, I mean, you got the...
They did announce this past week, though, at the Charlie Museum, we have Sunset Rails to the Dark Side.
What?
And,
Wait, this is big news.
Yes.
Why?
Just because reasons. I'll tell you about it off air.
No more volunteers, just say. Just say no more volunteers. Because wasn't it all volunteer-based?
No, I still have volunteers. It's
Oh.
they've teamed up with a group they worked with last year who did just the visitor center.
Mm-hmm.
They did like a haunt in the visitor center.
Oh, nice.
And then Rails to the Dark Side was the actual ride.
Yeah.
And it just didn't jive well. So they've decided at the museum, I didn't have anything to do with this. They've decided that they're going to make it all one event.
Mm.
So the visitor center, the group that does the visitor center, it's the Creepatorium in Hartford, I think is the name of it. They're going to take over the visitor center and also combine the story with the trolley ride. So it'd be one whole complete story. And you're going to be like doing a paranormal investigation kind of thing through the museum and all the different things. So
that's cool.
Yeah,
so
it should be pretty intense.
So they'll be getting rid of the other...
Yeah, so the part down at the end of the trolley where you get off and do the walk around part and all that, that part's now going to be held by them too. So it's all going to be one giant story through the whole
That's pretty cool.
thing. We should make it a little bit more cohesive. Yeah.
Yes. And honestly, you know what? It sounds interesting. I might even check it out.
Yeah.
It sounds pretty cool.
I can definitely get you tickets.
Yeah.
I know a guy.
You know?
I can get you in.
Man, I used to go in high school. We used to go to the Rails of the Dark Side all the time, and I had friends who were volunteers who did stuff. And I just remember going with my family. I was so scared, and my brother Tony, nothing fazed him.
Yeah.
He just sat there.
Yeah.
And some guy ran through with a fake chainsaw, and, I'm like, "Oh!" And they had the torches, and they were right up to the window, and you could feel the heat through the window.
And that was the thing too, is I think nothing against Rails to the Dark Side. It was great. I know some of our friends have volunteered and done stuff with it for years.
Yeah.
I think it was just to run its course.
Yeah. Yeah. It's time to try something new.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Well, that's some interesting news.
Yeah. They announced that last week. Yeah. So,
Wow.
so that's the big happenings at the Tron Museum.
Man.
Let's get ready for that. So they'll start working on that probably next month, getting that built and ready to go.
Man, I can't believe
Because Halloween's a coming.
We're at the end of August, and it's already the pumpkin spice is back at Duncan.
Yeah.
There's leaves, no joke, already falling in my backyard,
Yes.
and some of them are turning red.
Yes.
On top of that, we had major flooding this past Saturday
More than
in
major.
Connecticut.
Like a couple towns are
It
non-existent.
was all
at
over
this
the
point.
news this morning.
Yeah, it was all over the
Some
news
towns
this
are
morning.
There's towns that are washing away right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I have some people I know in like the Oxford area, and
Yeah,
they're, like,
Oxford,
totally
Beacon
cleaned up.
Falls.
Yeah, they got 12 inches of rain in
No time.
Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah, that tropical storm came through, and
It was offshore too. It wasn't even.
It's the measure if you're on which side of the storm it is, and they were on the bad side. So that's the downside of that. But yeah,
But it's
besides
craziness.
that was just a regular week, another busy week here at the studio. Shows upon shows upon shows.
Yeah, and we got a new ETV we're doing.
We do. We have a new
host,
we
right?
have a new host. We can. I guess we can announce it officially on this show, since the amount of people that probably watch both are non-existent.
Yeah, yeah.
We are bringing Nicole LaRose from Stafford Motor Speedway fame on board. She's going to take over the hosting gig.
Very exciting.
I know you're very excited. She'll be taking over the first show with our guest, Always Morning. Will be the guest this month.
Nice.
So they'll be here Wednesday. I just talked to them last night, and then they sent me another email this morning. They're very excited about coming.
Cool.
So Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of like, it's nice. You have hosted Mike Haynes, myself, and I think it's nice that we get someone younger in, but I also envision
she's in her 20s and she's female.
Right. But
and I think it'd be a different perspective on things.
Yes.
Which would be nice.
But
and she's already been sending me messages on Facebook about changes she thinks we should make.
Do it up.
So I'm like, I'll take all your ideas. We don't have to use them all, but we'll take some of them.
But this is how I think, and tell me if you think the same way. I think what makes a music show last is you change it up once in a while.
Yeah.
Also the host, it's nice to rotate and get different people in there, because if one day she's like, yeah, I'm done, I got a full-time job, maybe we find someone else,
Yeah.
And like,
or if she can't make it, you can always hop in. So it's like,
but
there's always that.
But it's nice, like, if we always had different people in. But
Yeah.
I'll always be there to fill in.
Yeah.
But it would be nice if this show continued and we just had a string of different hosts.
Yeah.
But if she lasts a long time, that's great.
It's fine with me.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But if one day she
I
quit,
like stability. It doesn't hurt.
we can always we can find someone else. But I think it's a great show for that to, if you want to build,
like to burst some young talent.
right. If you want to
Send them out
build
into the world.
a reel, this show is a great resume builder.
I think that's just community television as a whole. People should think about that.
right.
Even just the show in general.
Or any show, like anything at community television, like anywhere you live, and you be it by you, where you are, where I am, any place that there's a community TV channel near you,
Right.
go there. You can use it. Like, that's what it's for.
Yeah.
It's like one of those weird things I say to people all the time. It's like, I'm here to be used. It's like, use me to get your next thing. Like, I'm fine if you are here for 2 years and then you go off and do something else bigger. Because then I could just say that, hey, so-and-so started here.
I knew you win.
Yeah. And you could also do that. It's like,
Right.
it's a selling point for me
Right.
that you've succeeded
Right.
more than it is you just sitting here. So,
I concur.
yeah. So I do that all the time. I say to people all the time, like anytime we have, like, you see it all the time because you have all the high school kids at your place, but anytime they come in, that's like the first thing I say to them is like, use this place as the place that you use to springboard you to somewhere else.
Right.
Because you can do all your mistakes here. You can make all the mistakes here. You can do really bad shows here. Get it all out of your system now.
Nobody will care.
Let us help you
Right.
perfect what you want to do. And then when you go to take it somewhere else, it's already perfected. And when you show it to them, they're like, oh my gosh, this is your first thing you've done? And you're like, oh yeah, sure, yeah. It's exactly the first thing I've done. Yeah, you don't ever see the 20 bad things I did.
Right. All right.
Hey,
Yeah.
Talk Soup.
Yeah, Talk Soup started here. The guy from Talk Soup
Well,
started
the
here.
guy from Talk Soup.
Yeah.
He was on E.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean about the show. It started out as a
Yeah.
public access little show to,
Yeah.
and then even this show,
Yeah.
ETV started out as going to bands at concert venues.
Yeah. Now we got
doing
bands coming to
interviews.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. ETV 2.0.
Yeah. Like the perfect example is Tom Green.
Well,
I
yeah,
mean, I
public
know it's
access.
not much of a example nowadays. Kids probably don't know that as much as we did, but
Yeah, he started public access.
he started as a public
Canadian
access.
Public
Yeah.
access.
And then he turned into a national TV show.
Well,
Yeah.
didn't Eric
MTV.
Andre do the same thing?
Eric Andre, yeah, same thing. A lot of people. That's a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we have a new ETV this Wednesday, which
We do.
hopefully everyone will see in the next month.
Yeah.
So stay tuned.
Yeah, it'll be out. We'll have it on the YouTubes as well.
Yeah.
We should really start putting the links from the podcast to that back and forth, I'm saying. On the Facebook pages
Yeah,
for
we
each.
could do that.
Yeah.
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 I do have in our Geekonomics YouTube channel, I actually have one of the playlist feeds on our main channel is ETV.
Okay.
So I have it.
Yeah.
So if you go to our YouTube channel, it's right there. And please
Yeah.
like and subscribe.
Yes. I know I have the things on during the show.
Yeah,
but
but please
yeah.
subscribe.
Subscribe.
Please. Come on.
Yeah.
We need those we need
Yeah.
to subscribe.
We want to
people.
beat our own other show. Our other show's beating us now.
I
and
know.
that show's not been on as long as this one has.
It's 5 stories falling, baby.
Yeah.
They turn up the heat.
Well, even Gingerbug had a decent amount of views already. So
Yeah, but
all of them have great amount of views.
I know, but
for
man, people were really itching.
they
for
were
that.
they were a big deal.
Yeah, they were
but-
really good too.
And we do have, and we will confirm it's been confirmed. We have a date of us recording our 700th episode celebration.
Yes. Well,
Yes.
It's not a celebration more than
Well, it's going to be our celebration for this show.
Right.
We'll do the intros and outros celebration parts.
Yeah.
But the filming parts have been confirmed and scheduled.
We're doing it in September.
Yes.
So we might have to skip.
We're not going to, so we'll skip the number 700 and
Right.
you'll see that pop up in like middle September.
Right.
After we film it.
Man.
Because we had to book it.
Yeah. This is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
People might.
We're actually doing 2 half-hour shows.
Yes. There's a cross promotion.
Cross-pollination, if you will.
Cross pollination.
Yes.
It's going to be good.
Yes.
It's gonna be, I don't know what to expect.
Some studio synergy is what we're doing.
Yeah. This is going to be. Should we bring tissues? Are we going to cry? Is it going to be?
I don't know.
Is it going to be like Sally?
It'd be hilarious to me if you do.
Is it going to be like Sally Jessica Raphael?
Or Sally Jesse Raphael? Because Sally Jessica Raphael is not a person. She might be, but not the person that you're thinking of.
Sally
Hey, Mark.
Jessica Raphael.
No, Sally Jesse Raphael.
Mark,
Yes.
put a pause. We've gotten 4 phone calls since you've been in there, like in the past 5 minutes.
Okay.
I don't know, and I went and checked, and there's no one outside. So I don't
Okay.
know who's calling you, but it's a 787 number.
Oh, it might be Walgreens.
They've called 5 times.
Yeah.
They're calling again right now. Just wanted to.
Oh,
I know. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but it's.
You can always just pick it up and answer it.
Well, I didn't know.
Well, if you call again, pick it up and answer it.
Sorry, it just.
The marker.
Oh, I'm not going to
26
take this out.
minutes
It's going to stay in.
What?
Why not?
All right.
All right.
Whatever.
All right. We got to move on.
Brian, how was your weekend?
Okay. We got to
Yeah,
move
Brian,
on.
how was your weekend?
We gotta
What'd you
move on.
do? What'd you watch?
Okay. I finished Shoresy season 3.
About time.
Because these shows are only short season, I don't want it to end. So I watched one episode a week.
Yeah.
It was a great season. Also, spoilers, and I don't care because
It's been out for a while
it's been
now.
out
It's been
since
fun.
June.
No one
June
else
21st.
is. No one else is was going to watch it. Hasn't watched it yet. Unless they're in a coma or something.
I have predictions, but it was interesting that 3 seasons in, it goes, this is the end of Shoresy,
Yes.
part 1.
Yes.
And I'm like, interesting. He's going to be a coach now.
Yes.
I think it was a great story arc at the end there.
Mm.
But I have a prediction. If part 2 is going to be about him becoming the coach,
Yes. Or a coach.
he's going to be a coach
Yes.
for the team.
Yes.
Or we don't know what. But I think if it's a 3-part structure and part 3 ends the show, I think part 3, I wouldn't be surprised because at the end of this episode, well, they built upon this whole thing where he's doing stuff in front of these little kids.
Yes.
And the kids seem to like him.
Yeah.
Then this woman at the end says, I think you would be great working with
Announcer.
the kids or whatever. Not the announcer one, but working with the kids.
Oh, okay.
Remember? And he just goes, no.
Yeah.
And he walks away.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, so if he's going to be the coach for part 2, it would be really interesting if part 3, him and his girlfriend
Have a kid.
have a child, and that child gets into hockey, or by the end, he's working with the kid, maybe coaching the kids, and he's changed, like his potty mouth. You know what I'm saying? Because he's potty mouth kind of guy.
Yeah.
But I wonder. Right now, the show is all about him saying, well, I'm a hockey player. This is what I love doing. I don't care. And he got the concussion. And he's like, I can't play. He's like, I don't care.
Yeah.
It's all about him.
Yes.
But I wonder by the end of the show, he realizes it's not all about you. Like, if he has a kid or he has a group of kids and all of a sudden he's putting that onto them. And, like, he sees it's a bigger world than just his own ego.
Yeah.
I think it was a great season, and I'm interested. I think reinventing the show for the next series, part of it is a great idea.
Yeah.
Right?
I think so.
I think
it's a great. I think I don't know about your philosophy, your thought process.
It's just a
theory. I know.
Theory.
I think it was a great. I think it's been great. The whole thing. It's really like Josh can confirm this because I don't know if Josh has watched the show either, but I think of it as it's very close to how hockey, like that kind of hockey player plays and talks.
Yeah.
And everything. So it's very well put together is what I'll say. The hockey on ice stuff looks really good. The stories are really good. Yeah, we got a lot more of it this year.
Yeah.
I like to I could see more of him doing the referee stuff.
I think he's always going to do that. So now
that he's going to be coaching, he's going to have more time to do that. So that stuff's always great.
Yeah. I think that's where he gets it all out.
Yeah.
When he gets all of his anger out on those guys.
Yeah, exactly. So that stuff's always hilarious.
Yeah.
It will be an interesting dynamic to see, because it is always a very interesting thing to see when players retire or whatever, and then if they do go into coaching, seeing that transition. Yeah. So that's going to be a very interesting to see how they handle it. So I'm excited to see. I think it's going to be season 4 has already started, and I'm already ready for it.
Yeah,
so.
especially the goon type guys.
Yeah.
Those get weird because they go from being the guy that beats the crap out of people to being the guy who's teaching people not to beat the crap out of people.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, because they have to because then it's also the thing of, and I think that's going to be the other thing that is going to be interesting to see, is them having him being the player that he was, having a transition to coaching, and I think sooner or later, I know it's the big part of the show, but them dealing with the transition of the sport of hockey, where how it is in the show. I think as the newer players move in, and those other guys that were in the show the past 3 seasons start to slowly fade away, the difference in the game of hockey and him having to learn coaching that type of hockey as opposed to his type of hockey, and that's going to be the interesting dynamic.
Well, the final episode, I mean, he basically pulls them all together, that final period. And at the end, we actually have the first time, might be the second time, I hear somebody. Is that editing? The person who edits?
I think it's just some...
First aid guys here.
Oh, Centos?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's who that was.
So you see him, they win, and he hunches down, and you're assuming he's crying because he knows this is his final game. That's it, you know? But yeah, should be really good. I think it's been fantastic. I think season 3 was amazing. And it's funny because we got 2 fantastic shows out of, is it Jared Kelsey, right? The final season of Letterkenny and this.
Yeah.
You know, 2 great seasons of television.
Yeah.
I don't know if we want to give it a review or not. I don't have my score sheet, but we could if you want.
Yeah, I mean, we could. You put it in your phone and then
I'll
just
put it in
add
my phone
when you get to your...
Marcus, give me your final thoughts of season 3 of Shoresy and give me the old Geekonomic rating.
Season 3, like I said, I thought it was really well done, really well put together. I like the tournament aspect of it. That's always a fun... gives it that extra bit of challenge, because if they lose, it's over kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it adds that drama to it. I'll give the season a 9.
Funny thing is, I literally wrote that for me. I give it a 9 as well.
Yeah.
The reason I give it a 9, it's still a fantastic show. 9's a great score.
Yes.
But I'm not going to have a point, and this is just his writing style. And he's done this in the past, especially in Letterkenny, where you'll go through maybe the first 3 to 4 episodes, and they're only 6 episodes.
Yeah.
And then he gives you the crux of the series towards the end of the season.
He gives you just a meandering storyline.
And then you get...
And then hit you with it.
Right.
Yeah.
And I get it. It's short and sweet, but sometimes I wish he would almost bring it... He would bring it... episode 2 could have been it. But maybe his writing style, it would have felt like it was dragging on too much. I don't know. But that's the only reason I give it a 9.
Yeah.
I do like how we get to find out why they have the top of the head shaved.
Yes.
They have the party, which very reminiscent. His character kind of almost turned a little bit into what's his name from Letterkenny. He kind of turned into his other alter ego.
Oh yeah.
A little bit.
Wayne.
Yeah. He a little Wayne-ish when he was drunk there.
Yeah.
Which I thought was fun.
Yeah.
But anyway, great show. Also, I saw Alien Romulus.
You know, one thing really quick before I'll move on to that. I think it'd be really cool if somewhere in the next episodes or shows or series, they bring in the hockey players from Letterkenny.
Yeah, that's the same thing.
It's like, I think that connection needs to be brought over.
He could, but they're in a different town.
I know, but they could play.
I wouldn't be surprised if they do an away game type of thing.
Yeah, or his coach he's coaching against them or something. Or
right. Or they could make a cameo.
Or the coach from Letterkenny.
Yeah.
That'd be fun to see.
That'd be fun.
They'll be wearing Wolfpack jerseys.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could see that. They did have the D-Gens. They did talk about the They said you're D-Gen about the whole party thing. And they shaved their heads.
Yeah.
So they had
the little Kenny connection. The Hartford Wolfpack Booster Club just had one of the guys from Dylan Playfair.
Yeah.
From Letterkenny was just
a
guest at their Booster Club meeting.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then in Shoresy, they had the Booster Club start a fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
When he throws the beer.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah.
That's good stuff. All right. I have a real quick review. I saw Alien Romulus.
The new one?
It was good.
Okay.
I enjoyed it immensely. It was kind of like back to old Alien 1, Aliens. That kind of feel to it. Great movie. It's a good Halloween one. I'm sure it'll be out and streaming before Halloween. They seem to all be coming out on streaming very quickly.
Furiosa's already on streaming.
Yeah, and Borderlands did so bad, it's going to be streaming August 30th.
What's crazy is Twisters is on streaming.
Is it?
Yeah, Kylie and I saw it on streaming. Like, it's on Amazon already.
Oh, they might have as like a...
yeah, but that's what I mean. It's that dual thing they do now.
Purchase the movie thing.
Right.
But yeah, oh God, the Borderlands is... Everyone is talking about how awful it was.
I know.
Why they picked people in their 50s.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Alien Romulus, fun time.
Yeah.
If you're an Aliens fan, you will like it. A lot of people...
I'm just glad to see the ads stop.
Why?
Because it feels like they've been pounding him like constantly.
Well, I'm sure.
It's like, I feel like, I can't remember what we were watching the Olympics.
Yes. Oh, I was supposed to say that.
On
It was the
Peacock.
Olympics.
And it's a Universal movie. So literally every god dang commercial break for the Olympics, sometimes back to back, Alien Romulus ads, to the point where Claire was like, I've seen these ads so often, I never want to watch this movie. Because it's like, I don't care anymore about this.
I don't remember. Well, she's not a horror fan. But anyway.
No, but even still, it's just like I'm not either, but I was just like, okay, we get it. The movie's coming out. You don't need to hit it every single time.
This is what they
Come up with other ads.
This is what they do.
Throw other ads in here. Like, throw in something for, don't you have any new shows coming out?
That is like the one annoying thing about some of the streaming stuff is a lot of the commercials are the same, like, 4 block of commercials.
Yeah, well, especially like, because Claire was watching like the Gold Zone or Gold Zone. So it was like not really the programming. It was kind of like they would hop around to different events.
Yeah.
And so when they would throw in ads, it's like generic Universal ads.
Yeah.
Like for Comcast, for Xfinity, for other things. So literally, like, the only things they promoted entertainment-wise was Alien Romulus and this terrible St. Dennis show that they're putting out on NBC.
With
that has David Alligier.
Oh, I always
It's
see
like
the
a
Zachary
Office.
Quinto doctor.
That too. That's the other one.
Yeah.
So it was those three.
Yeah.
And both the doctor shows look terrible.
Yeah, I know. It's like so
The Zachary
generic.
Quinto show looks so bad.
It's like, dude, you are literally just making the same
Oh my
show
gosh.
over and over again
Yeah.
with these doctor shows.
Yeah. And the St. Dennis show is like trying to be The Office,
Scrubs?
but
Or Scrubs and Office.
it's like
pushed
Scrubs in The
together.
Office melted together.
Right. I saw the.
Yeah.
It did not look funny.
It doesn't look funny at all.
No, but it looks like The Office and Scrubs.
Yeah.
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 Anyway.
Like they had like some weird thing going on. Some weird tryst.
Anyway. I enjoyed Alien Romulus. It was pretty intense. It was a great movie. If you want a good time, highly recommend.
Yeah.
Beyond that, you and me.
But I guess, hey Brian.
Yeah.
I guess people have been watching Alien Romulus in the 4-box.
Oh my God!
And I guess people are saying it reminds them of the thing at Disney where you did that alien experience.
Yes.
And I guess they actually like breathe on your neck and everything. That's the whole thing.
So the funny thing is, when I went to Disney,
4D.
Yeah, but people call it the 4-box.
The 4-box.
I was like, what the heck are you talking about?
So when I went to Disney, they had turned that experience into the Lilo and Stitch.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when I sat down, is it Lilo the alien?
Stitch.
Stitch is the alien. So Stitch was running, and you hear boom, 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 boom,
Yeah.
and then you feel like him breathing in your ear, and then mist go. He spits, and like mist goes in your face.
That's the alien spitting.
Yeah.
That used to be an alien experience.
Which I heard was literally the scariest thing in the history of Disney.
Just that was creepy because you could like it would go dark.
That doesn't exist either anymore. They got rid of that.
They got rid of that.
That's
Lilo
been gone
Stitch
for a long time.
But yeah, before it was Stitch, it was really like the alien from Aliens.
Yeah, it would come
escapes
out and
escapes one of those tubes
and be in the middle of the room and
the
everything.
Lilo and Stitch is
basically the same thing. They just replaced the alien with
escapes.
Stitch.
Yeah,
that's all they did.
escapes, and it's more kid friendly.
That's really all it is. They just
Dude,
switched
if
it
it
from.
wasn't the alien one, I would have pooped my pants.
Oh yeah,
Because
But
I heard
guess
it was like
people have been doing that 4D experience.
Yeah.
With the seats moving and
there's
no.
Yeah.
If you really want to like experience it, I think on YouTube you can find video from the alien experience.
Oh my God.
And I've heard it was like literally poop your pants.
Well, if I saw one of those aliens,
like,
in
why
person,
would this be in a Disney park? That made no sense whatsoever.
I would really go crazy.
Yeah. I heard it was super scary. Like
Sounds
people were like
fun. I kind of want to do it.
screaming and like leaving and crying, kids crying.
I would give birth.
Yeah, basically.
I'm crying.
Yeah.
God. Brian would have something bust out of his chest.
Yeah. Something bust out of something else. All right, let's move on. Anyway.
Wow. Okay.
Wow. Where do we go from here?
I don't know. How do you transition to that? So how was the movie?
I told you it was great. We're moving on to D&D.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, D&D. We started talking about D&D.
So we're playing D&D. We're back in the saddle. I haven't been there for 2 sessions. You missed the last, and Bobby missed the last session.
Yes.
We're back in the saddle.
Yes.
It was great. I had a great time.
Yeah.
It went a little too long.
Smorgasbord of food as always.
But Drago, my character's secret, is finally out, and boy, does it feel good.
Yeah, you finally have an excuse for why you've been playing so badly this whole time. It definitely was because of that. Definitely wasn't because of you're just not good at playing.
Are you? No. It
what?
It really was.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
No, go back. Drago, I killed frontline fighter, but I was been possessed by this doll. So
which I hold to the fact, I don't know if this is just I've heard this has been the thing that people have, that you forget whole events that happen in your life. And people are like, oh, you were there. I'm like, I'm 99% sure I wasn't. I'm 90% sure I wasn't there for that show.
You were. It was in my basement. That's when it happened.
I must not have been paying attention at all.
Remember the doll?
No.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. I don't remember any of that.
Yeah. So
anyways, I'll have to go. Just prove the fact that from what I've been stating, and I'll state it again, I'll state it publicly now for the first time. This campaign's been going on way too long.
You
the fact that I'm forgetting things that happened, how long was that? 2 years ago?
Yeah. It might be in your notes. So, I've been playing because the doll basically...
You swap souls with the doll.
Has
you Freaky Friday with the doll.
Its own agenda. Now, the own agenda, our characters made a deal with the devil, a fae. We made a deal.
You did.
But both of us are involved with this
You
deal.
got me roped into it because I knew there was something that was going on.
The doll, but the way I saw this to play out,
yes,
which obviously is not going to happen, so I can talk about it.
Yeah.
My characters the possession is now ended because the magic stone was broken, which was connected to that.
Yes.
Which I didn't know was going to happen. John and me have been having these conversations about this.
No one did, because even John didn't say it out loud, but I could sense it, that he was like, wow, you really pulled a rabbit out of the hat with this one.
No, he messaged me. He said, Brian, I think this session, your character's going to get found out. What do you want to do? And I said, well, my overall goal was this, but I can't control what other people do.
I mean, it made sense to have you be that character that did that, because, like we said, you've really been a bad D&D player for a very long time.
So it makes sense. You make it sound horrible. I'm not that bad.
You'd be this bad. So no one suspect there's something going on with you,
right?
Because you're just usually bad at playing anyways. So now you're just...
All right. Let's put in perspective.
So now you had to so now you're really like a really good D&D player, because you had the fake being so bad at playing D&D.
My character played the back line.
It's almost like you're going for the Oscar in Tropic Thunder.
Yes. I did. I went full. My character...
You never go full.
You never go full. My character is a frontline fighter.
Yes.
But because I was preserving myself from being killed or found out... I played backline.
Yes.
And all the times you guys would be like, why are you not frontline? That is why. I know.
Why. Now it makes sense, but
that is why.
Yeah.
Now,
I, on the other hand, am a backline fighter. So that's why I was like,
it's nice
to have friends in the back.
Yeah,
I was like, fine with me. Hang out back here with me.
So my ultimate...
I use you as my human shield.
So when we made this thing with the Fae...
Yes.
We got bonus we got bonus in some of our stats.
I got charisma, you got strength.
But in 100 days or whatever
time
frame
who would
we're
even
in,
know? Every round, everything you do is 6 seconds. So we could be playing it for the next 10 years and no one know the difference.
Is going to take our souls?
Something's
something's
going to happen. We owe them a favor.
My thought process
But I pod jammers on the case. So
the doll wanted the Fae. So we would get to that point, and I was hoping, and I expressed this to John, but he's a DM, he can do what he wants. I expressed that...
Saw me down the river?
No, that this doll soul would potentially save both of us, because either this Fae would take that from me, not realizing what it is.
Yeah.
The doll soul would either corrupt the Fae, or the Fae would be so elated by it.
Yes.
Wouldn't even care about us.
Yeah.
I was hoping it would be a get out of free jail card.
Well,
that was my ultimate game plan.
We'll see how it goes.
So then John throws at me, Brian, I know you haven't been here. This could happen. And I was like, oh, man. So he's like, I'm going to let you know so you can possibly get out of the area, I guess. But I don't think it would matter. Because... even if I was in the area, it would still affect me?
Yeah, because of the 1,000...
But John didn't see we were going to use a black hole.
I mean, John even said that to me. Like, he's like, you really pulled the rabbit out of a hat. You came out with, like, a great idea. He's like, I wasn't suspecting that.
Right.
So to speak. He didn't say it, but he was like, I could tell that he was not happy that I came up with the heist idea.
Right. It was... honestly, I have to say this. I'll say this, and I know we won't harp on this too much, but I say in our group chat, we worked... as a team, probably this was the best session of us working as a team. One of our characters didn't just go off and do what he wanted. Yeah. We all discussed things. Yeah. We all made a plan.
My plan was to let him go off and do what he wanted.
But he didn't.
But I'm saying, like, let him be by himself like he likes to be.
Yeah.
So I integrated that into my plan. And I kind of used everyone's from previous experiences of playing, using their experience, their tendencies to work towards the plan that I wanted it to work towards. So it all worked out.
It all worked out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been hatching this plan for a little while. It wasn't something I came up with out of the blue here.
Well, we also didn't. You weren't at the last. None of us were at the last session.
No,
so
but
I read what we're doing.
I read the stuff on the messenger.
Yeah,
and that kind of clued me in what we were heading towards here.
Yeah.
And then when John said the thing about the shard and everything and being on the top of the building and coming up with the way to get there, and
we got the black hole, which we don't have anymore, right?
No, it exploded.
Yeah, that stinks.
Portable hole.
But it did kill whatever was in there, which we had a couple things in there. It got
We
rid
didn't
of,
have nothing. No, like
we had the bad guy. We had
creatures
the
in there.
Freddy Krueger guy in there.
no. The Bagman lives in all holes, not just that hole.
Oh, he lives in. I thought he was in
all
our hole.
magical contraptions
Oh.
he can appear in.
Well, overall, we worked as a great team. I think it was the best session because we worked as a team.
Yeah.
And we didn't have people just going, well, I'm going to go do this and see you guys later.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times our friend Mike will do that. He'd be like, well, I've had enough discussion. I'm just
Yeah.
going to go do it.
No.
But I think it was a great session, right?
Yeah.
It's just a little too long.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Well, it's kind of like a nice, like encapsulated mini campaign because you had a destination.
Yes, we had a goal.
There was no like open decision to make. It was like we all
Yeah.
knew where we were heading.
We're all stuck in the same
Whereas
place.
as opposed to the usual where it's like you can do this or you can do this.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like this
yeah.
is where we're doing, this is where you got to go.
Right.
When you give that many people too many choices,
It doesn't end well.
no one's ever going to agree on one thing. There's not going to get a consensus on what we should do.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
And even when you do, you always have one person who's just like, screw
Yeah.
you guys, I'm out of here.
yeah.
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 But I think it was a good time.
Yeah.
It's
If only
crazy
we could turn
went that
Bobby
long.
down. We'd be fine.
Huh?
If only we could not give Bobby sugar beforehand, we'd be fine.
Yes. Sugar boy.
Wow.
If
I like it. Interesting to hear him post that situation, hearing himself being like, I wonder what that's like.
yes,
That'd be interesting to hear from Bobby because I know he listens. What does he like rehear himself as and be like, oh man, I was
wow, that
a
was
little
nuts.
over the top.
That was over the top.
He was amped.
Yeah, it was fun
He
though,
was full of taquitos. Don't give that boy taquitos before D&D.
especially a hot one.
Yeah. No taquitos for him.
It was great. We generally take a dinner break. It was we didn't even really take a dinner break. We just took breaks to eat tacos and cut our fingers, but somehow we
Not
made
like
it.
terribly. Yeah. We'll talk about the cutting the fingers.
No,
It
we
wasn't
all
a
just,
bad thing.
I know, it's funny. Bob
yes.
is fine. Everybody's
Yes,
fine.
everybody's fine.
Anyway, it was a great session. It was good to see everybody. It was good to be back.
Yeah.
And I think you're right, though. I think it was great that we had one goal.
Yes.
We all had to do that goal.
Yeah.
And it wasn't multiple, you can all do these things.
Yeah.
We shouldn't all have these,
Too many options.
options. It's too much.
You gotta
it's too much.
whittle down the options. Make it more of a you must go here
Right.
situation.
Yeah.
Don't give us the options.
Tell us what
You
to
make
do.
the options.
Right.
And you tell us where we had to next.
Yeah.
Like the story now leads here. The story doesn't lead here, here, or here.
I was, when Drago woke up, I was going to fight Horatio.
You should have.
But John did give me, he rolled from, if I was confused, I had a moment of clarity and we had a discussion. But a part of me is just like,
Because should have been like the thing I was thinking of after the fact was that should have happened was John should have had you holding the information of what was going on at that time when you got possessed. So you would pick up with your memory being literally at that moment.
yeah.
So then you would have come back and been like in the middle of like you think you're in the middle of fighting somebody.
Right. And I
Mid-
was
You just
Reset,
start
basically.
shooting like
Yeah.
firing
But
whatever.
like you said, I don't even remember. Like it was
But I'm
after
saying,
a
but
battle.
John had that information. Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
That was a good idea.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Josh?
I was saying like a mid reset, just
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
he's finishing a sentence and
Yeah, like literally you should just been like finishing up saying something or come up.
Right,
Yeah.
right. But
that
it-
on the fly, I know it's harder to come up with that.
Yeah. But it was good. It was a good time.
But, yeah. Well, because I also threw the curveball. I don't think John expected me to think of putting the
The heist.
heist and then putting the shard into the hole.
We Oceans 11s, 12, 13 it.
I did.
We Oceans
did.
11s it. Yeah.
Disguises and everything.
Julia Roberts showed up. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was bonkers.
Hey, I'm using my my characters to its full potential.
Right. Right. You know what I've discovered? And I'm sure you already
You're a
know this.
Dragonborn?
I just discovered that. I'm Dragonborn.
See, the thing is now.
wait. Drago's Dragonborn? Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have two Dragonborns on our
Yeah.
in our group. So the thing that I find interesting before you go off into what you're going to say is I want to see how you play now
Did you see how I played? I was more into the fight. What are you talking about? You, the guy who ran up and down steps, I was like...
I mean, that's how my character is.
Well, right now my character doesn't even know what we're doing.
Yeah.
Story-wise.
What I'm saying. So once we get you into the thing, we're just going to see how your character like actually does stuff now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now you can't hide behind the I'm possessed thing anymore.
No. I wasn't.
But just know every time you do something dumb, I'm going to be like, so you possessed again?
Oh, my God. I hate to tell... If you go back, I didn't play that way before the possession.
I mean, you went up and shook a Harbinger's hand.
Yeah,
that was before.
Right. I was
fearless. And that character's dead.
Fearless.
So, I mean, the new character...
Drago has not been fearless. Drago has been, like, self-preservation. Because once...
Okay, it'd be interesting to see. We'll
find out. Why do you doubt me here?
Because I know you.
Yeah, but we've never played D&D together.
We played a whole... campaign together before this.
Yeah, that was practice for me. I mean, like, I know what I'm doing. Like, any of us really know what we're doing. We're just making
I have an idea. I have plans.
I have an idea, too. I had a plan.
Yeah.
I had multiple plans, and obviously they didn't work out.
No, I used all my stuff. I have all my stuff mapped out, what I'm doing.
Yeah. Well, see, now that Drago is free of this, like, now I can be my character. Before I was
that's
not
the tough
playing
part
my
about
character.
Our group is like my character, who I've cultivated him to be, is a planner, which is very much like me. Like I need to have plans. I need to have like a plan of attack. I don't like to we'll just figure it out as we go. It's like no.
Yeah.
If I don't have like we're doing this, then this, and we're gonna go here, and this is what's going on, I don't like it.
I hear you. My character is just work more with Alex's character
hip.
And just going into blazing.
Yeah.
But I felt like I was more into the game personally too. Like I think I was just like,
except right away,
been a while.
We entered a room with a bunch of dragon people, and neither of the dragon people in our group thought it'd be a good idea to try to communicate until
I hate to break it to you, we did.
Forced.
No.
I mean, we had to pull you out there kicking and screaming to talk to people.
No, I did say, like, I wanted to go guns blazing because I don't know who anybody is.
Well, I know that.
And then they're like, and then I tried to speak. Everybody's like, no, we want to try to speak to these things.
Yeah, I mean, the two of you can try.
But we tried and we failed. But
at least you didn't go up and try to shake someone's hand.
I did. I was the person who discovered the poem for that puzzle.
Yes.
With my language.
Yes.
Draconius or whatever it's called.
That was towards the end of the night when John was, I think, just speeding things along to get things to where they needed to be.
No, that was before. That was before the big battle.
I felt like it was.
That was a good puzzle, too.
I
liked it.
Yeah,
that was a good one.
Yeah. I hate Sudoku.
I don't play Sudoku, but
me neither.
We figured it out. It was easy.
The last thing I want to do is math while I'm playing a game. Anyways, moving on.
We gotta wrap up soon.
Yes.
But next week we're gonna have our battle in Berlin predictions.
Well, hey, did you actually hear about the Fan Fest in New York?
I saw some footage and I saw some photos, and I'm very jealous.
WWE was the only group to sell out all their photo ops and autograph sessions and everything as well.
I believe it.
Yeah, because it really should have just been a WWE fest. That's all they should do.
Well, there's tons of
all these other people made no sense. Like, there was no need for all the other stuff.
Well, because it was a Fanatics
it's a Fanatic
thing.
I mean, it's also a thing of, like I said when we were first talking about it, you paid $120 to get in, or whatever it was.
No, it was $60. It was $60 to get in.
$60.
It was $180 for the weekend.
$6 a day.
Yeah. $6
There's
a day.
2 days.
Yeah. No,
so $120.
No, it was 3 days.
3 days, $180.
All people weren't there every day.
For the weekend.
Terrificon's the same way.
Yeah.
They're all the same way.
But I'm saying it's not that bad. But still.
Terrificon
was $30 or something. $40 for, I think, for the
Josh,
Saturday.
Here, look up Terrificon.
Well, unless you bought the VIP, and if you got there early enough on Friday for the VIP for Terrificon,
you got to meet Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, you got to meet Keanu Reeves and his buddy from Berserk.
Because Dogstar played at
Foxwoods.
Foxwoods. Or Mohegan.
Burgess went to Foxwoods.
Terrificon was like $120 for the weekend.
There you go. Same price.
No. FanFest is almost $200 for the weekend.
But it's also New York. But
and
still,
each signing was
another
$100
a pop.
I'm sure.
And
Mark, this
photo ops are about $60 a piece.
This is no different than any...
No. I'm not saying it's better or
no,
worse.
it was just a sports convention is what it was.
Yeah.
And they were also selling stuff. They Fanatics had a booth set up with all the championship belts. They gave Gronk one. They gave Tom Brady one.
All the different teams and all that, all the players.
Now they have NHL championship belts.
Yeah. These are far days from that we would go to Monster Mania and it would be very cheap.
People are bitching because I guess.
There's still that too.
Mark Hamill did a convention and people are mad that he was asking for $300 for an autograph, and people are like, "That's about right."
Yeah.
You go to other places, it's like $180 for.
Exactly.
People.
Yeah, it's. My thing is like literally the only group that was there, like they literally gave I was watching online and they set up a whole booth, the WWE, with an entrance ramp and everything.
Yeah, pretty
and
cool.
Literally every athlete, everyone that showed up there had an entrance and was able to do like the WWE type entrance and everything.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
It was pretty cool.
Well, then they also did they had a
match.
They did a costume entrance
competition.
So
they
people,
did like a
so like there's a guy that did the full Bray Wyatt Fiend.
Yeah, they did like a couple podcasts, did live shows there.
They have interviews stuff. It looked awesome. I saw a lot of cool photos on the Reddit board, on Facebook, and man, if I had the money, I would have 100% went.
Yeah.
I just don't.
I mean, you can kind of just wait. I mean, not for nothing. Just wait until
they come closer to buy.
Well, no, they do the WrestleMania. If you ever do a WrestleMania, they do like the fan access event. If they do that, that's like basically what that was, but you paid.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what the fan access. You just buy the ticket and you get like random superstars.
So next week we're doing our predictions.
Yes.
It is shaping up. Some stuff is shaping up to see where things are going. Story-wise.
Yes.
I will say SmackDown had one of the best openings. We had our nice little Tiffy Time opening with Nia Jax. And it seems like, will she cash in at Bash in Berlin?
No.
There has been no confirmation. But I feel like she could be cashing in.
She's not even competing. Nia Jax isn't even competing at Bash in Berlin.
No, I know. It seems like...
So why would she cash in?
I'm just saying she'd be cashing in, it seems like, on a Friday night show. They're building that tension. They're building something.
Just saying.
Because what's-her-name came in with the cane.
Mi Chin.
And she came with the cane and went after everybody.
Or Mia Kim, as they call her.
Yeah. So it's interesting. But that was a good opening. I think SmackDown was actually probably really good this week.
It's going to be, and they're also building up to, and I think they're building up to Charlotte return.
You think so?
Because she dropped some Charlotte lines in her promo.
Interesting. Do you, the
like
comeback...
she's the queen, and she's calling herself the queen now, and you know Charlotte's whole gimmick is she's the queen.
Yeah,
because she's from Charlotte.
Well, I know, but but that's her whole shtick and all that. So I think that's what they're building towards is a Charlotte return.
So right now we only have 3 things confirmed.
We get more tonight. We'll get more on Friday.
I feel like there's got to be 5. At the very least.
Do you think they're going to do the Kevin Owens Cody match?
That's happening. Yeah, they announced that on Saturday.
Did they fully announce it?
Yes, Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens is happening.
Yeah, and Randy Orton and Gunther.
And then we have the Terror Twins and the Judgment Day.
Yeah, Terror Twins and mixed tag with Liv and Dom.
That's going to be really good. I'm actually looking forward to that one.
So you might get like 1 or 2 more, probably.
Do you think we'll get a Bloodline thing or no?
I feel like
no.
You don't think so?
No, we might get a Bloodline something, but I don't think you'll get a match.
I'm not saying a match, but I'm saying, do you think we'll get something along?
You might get Roman against some random Bloodline guy.
Well,
like a Jacob Fatu Roman match.
Now,
can he even fight with his foot?
Yes, his foot's totally fine. He was running around on it like no business.
No, his foot is really banged up, but he still came out there part of the.
It's just a.
No, he
kayfabe
really,
injury, as they call it.
He really hurt his foot because they showed him afterwards. Because I didn't expect him to come back.
I honestly do think he did hurt his foot, and
he
then
really
overdid it in the No, I'm just saying. It
People do get injured,
Mark.
Mark.
I'm saying.
I know.
Not everything is 100%
but that
fake.
was not a real injury.
No. I'm not.
There's
I'm not
no
saying,
way
I'm
someone
not,
who supposedly sprained their ankle that badly
Yeah.
is walking around with a walking boot literally right afterwards and is taking pictures in convenience stores
Mark,
and all these things
He's
without
had-
any limp whatsoever.
he's had the
and then
boot
showing
on.
up at the show
I don't know.
this
No,
past week
I don't
Mark.
know.
and full on sprinting back and forth around the
Mark.
ring without any pain.
Mark.
We don't know if he didn't
Mark.
have any pain.
I'm not
Or
saying he
limp of
hurt
any
his
sort.
foot. I have more of a feeling that he bruised his shin.
Oh, I'm not saying he doesn't have
but
like
then
a
he
bruise or a
overdid it and
contusion
hurt
of
his
some
shin
sort.
again.
But I don't think he
He didn't hurt his foot.
Yes, he didn't like break anything.
No.
Or sprain
Oh,
anything.
I never said break.
No.
I'm
but
just
like,
saying, like-
having him run around on the mat with that boot.
With the boot was just kind of like
it was silly. 'Cause, like,
I'm telling you, like
there's no grip.
I've had that boot when I broke my leg, and Claire had it when she broke her ankle, and I broke mine.
But he even has the good
Yeah, but
one
these
with
guys
the,
are a little bit different
No,
than
I'm just
us.
saying.
I
Just
mean,
any kind of walking on those
Oh, I
is
know.
not easy.
yeah.
But he didn't even have the good one with the grip on it. He had the stupid
Yeah,
plastic
so it's
one.
like
I
the-
didn't think he was going to show up
like
because
those things have like a padding on the inside of it and everything, so they must have had to gut that whole thing out and make it so he could actually use it to run around on
he like
without any
it
kind
was
of like hitching your giddy up.
after the last Friday. He showed like behind the scenes. They said he hurt his foot and
Yeah.
he might be out. And then I did not expect him because
Yeah.
I was like, I thought he's going to be out for a little bit.
Yeah.
But it seems like yet again, they're like the Solo Sokola there is really like we are going down that path yet again, with the table and everything. So
Yeah.
it's building up to something, and I wouldn't be
Well, I think
surprised
that-
if The Rock comes back.
Well, I think they're gonna do the thing. If they're knocking Roman out like they did this past week, you're now not gonna see him until after Bash in Berlin.
It's going to be Solo versus Roman Reigns.
No, I'm saying, but I don't think you'll see Roman for the next couple weeks.
What
Get through Bash in Berlin, then they start to build up to
What's the next big one?
Bad Blood.
Yes, it would
it'd
be Bad Blood.
that
Would make the most
more
sense.
for
So
a bloodline thing. to be-
Yes.
that'll be the first like Roman Jacob Fatu at Bad Blood,
Yeah, I think
which then leads to War Games, Survivor Series.
I really think that's the reason why they're bringing Bad Blood back.
Yeah.
Because of the bloodline stuff,
Yes.
and I think Solo said if
Hold on.
he takes this from me, what?
We got Bash in Berlin.
Yes.
Then you got NXT's No Mercy.
That's not really.
Then Bad Blood.
Yes.
Then Halloween Havoc.
Yeah.
Crown Jewel. And Survivor Series in November.
Yeah, War Games. Yeah.
Yeah.
War Games is where you'll have like the big
But I'm
Roman's
wondering,
bloodline versus
Right.
Solo
Roman
bloodline,
Reigns
wondering-
needs to have the necklace. What's it called?
which they might drag out till WrestleMania.
That's gonna be
Yeah,
a drag out thing.
Yeah.
But
They'll
I'm
drag that out
wondering.
till
I'm
WrestleMania.
wondering if they're setting up the thing with Uso and
What's what I'm
Sami
thinking is they
Zayn
might bring back
being a tag team.
like they
and then
might.
some because
yeah.
of the stuff with Sammy being.
I think they might.
Weird.
If they do it, they're gonna bring Jimmy back first.
Yeah, he's
And
been
then
gone
maybe
for a
at
while.
Bad Blood it'll be Roman and Jimmy versus Solo and Fatu. And then they need to recruit guys to help them kill off this bloodline or whatever.
Yeah.
And then that's when they go and they like have to try to reform the old bloodline of Jay and
That's where you get blue versus red.
yeah.
Does Rock come back?
I
feel
think
like
they hold The
is
Rock
gonna
until
come back.
like next year.
WrestleMania.
I would see.
Yeah.
I would see the
Or
Rock come
Royal
back
Rumble?
for WrestleMania if they keep the
I
red
think
versus
like
blue going.
Royal Rumble time maybe.
Yeah.
You won't see
because
The
he
Rock.
does he did give something to Cody. We
He's
still
also
don't know what
filming
it is.
like 9 things.
well, he's
Yeah.
done filming. They said.
But now he's doing live action Moana.
He's doing the live action Moana now.
Well,
So
needless
that's going to be a
ne-
while.
Needless to say, things are heating up.
And then you think he's got the
in
next
wrestling
Fast
world.
movie after that. So
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think the Fast movies are done.
No,
aren't they?
this would be the last one. I think.
yeah, the last.
I think the
one.
last-
part 2 of
They got to get him
10.
out because the last one did not do well,
yeah
like money wise, and they
Yeah.
were always a money maker.
yeah.
Anyway, things are heating up. I'm excited for
Yeah.
the next
Yeah, Raw
big
tonight?
event. Yeah, Raw tonight is going to be good.
Yeah.
Um,
In
Yeah.
a couple weeks, we got my birthday, and then NFL's back.
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice. which Hutchel can't make. So, because he's got a schedule for the next month and a half already. Whatever.
It's too funny.
That's fine. It's fine.
He's very quiet.
It is what it is.
He's very quiet.
I was wondering what's up with him. I was like, there's something going on.
I know. He's so quiet.
He said barely 3 words the whole night.
Yeah. Come to find out, he's up all night playing video games today.
Well, that makes more sense then.
Yeah.
The next Fast X should be out in 2026.
Oh.
By then, nobody will care.
Yeah. I don't think anyone cares now.
No. That last movie didn't do well.
Yeah.
All right. We should wrap this up.
Yes.
Next week, we'll be back. We're going to...
We have picks, I hear. You're promoting this as much as Alien Romulus.
What?
The picks.
Yes.
It's like we get it. We have picks next week.
We got picks next week, baby.
Okay.
So if you're a fan, get on that. You can make your
because we know we have
predictions.
fans following along with our challenge.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
I look forward to it a lot, Mark.
I'm glad.
You say it with such sarcasticness. You just...
It's Mark. What do you expect?
I know. God.
I
Honestly,
still haven't come to grips with the fact that you're so big into wrestling that
I love it.
someone who poo-pooed it for so long.
Oh my God, we've had this discussion a
It
million
still
times.
baffles me.
I poo-pooed it because what happened when I was a kid and I learned it was fake, it was devastating. It was like
Yeah.
learning Santa wasn't real.
Not
But
that
then,
that's
just
true or
remembered.
anything.
no, but
Did you see Randy Orton name drop Paul London
Yes.
in the Cody Rhodes
Actually,
podcast?
Cody Rhodes name dropped
Yeah.
Paul London.
Because I guess they had to run from the cops and the federales
Yeah.
in Mexico because they're setting off dynamite in a hotel.
Randy Orton used to travel with Paul London and Brian Kendrick, who were a tag team back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
So they did the newest YouTube episode that Randy Orton of Cody Rhodes' show.
yeah.
Randy Orton's the guest.
Oh, I gotta
And
watch that one.
Cody
I
Rhodes
didn't-
brings up Paul London
Yep.
to Randy Orton.
Yeah.
And is like, I don't know if you know this, but Paul London's gimmick now, he said, I didn't even know this until someone, I was like, when Cody was doing the independent shows,
Yeah.
someone said to him, oh, Paul London's here and he's wrestling on the show, but he's doing the match before you. Cody's like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen Paul in forever. Didn't even know he was there. So Paul London goes out to do his intro, which was the intro he did at Blitzkrieg,
Yeah.
where he sings
Yeah, yeah.
and wears like a bodysuit and everything.
Yeah.
And he's telling this story to Randy Orton. Randy Orton's like, what? He's like, huh? So there's funny things happen after that. I'm not going to ruin it for you.
No,
but,
I
yeah.
love that show. I
Yeah.
love his show, the
Yeah.
Cody show. That's great. Okay, I'll have to watch
Yeah.
that. I'll have to listen to it. I listened to it when I'm at work.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Something to look for. I'll have to send it to Tony.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've discussed this a million times.
Yes.
It is my favorite thing of the week.
I know.
I love Raw.
I'm happy for you.
I love SmackDown. I love us doing this.
yeah.
Like I said, you need to get into NXT and the history.
You gotta watch
I
that.
have watched. Okay, I'm slowly getting to NXT. I didn't want to
Did
talk
you watch
about it.
the documentary yet?
You got to watch the Bray Wyatt documentary still.
I still have to watch that. But the oh my God, I'm not good.
NXT?
I'm not good with names. NXT. Josh, you'll probably know. Mark, I'm sure you probably know. What's his name? The guy who, if you say his name, he appears.
Joe Hendry.
Joe Hendry.
If
you say his name, he appears.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
Yeah, I gotta believe. So the reason I was like, someone had,
Oh, it's all over the internet.
yeah, they had his face during one of like Monday Night Raw,
Yeah.
and I'm like, why am I seeing these memes everywhere?
So
And
it's
then I
gotten
saw-
so crazy. Like
A weatherman did it on the newscast.
weathermen are doing it on
Yeah.
newscasts.
Everybody's doing it.
Some guy was at the A&T Stadium and they were able to put things on the board
Yeah.
for like his kid's like competition or something.
Yeah.
Of pictures with your kid or something.
And
you just put a picture of Joe Hendry
That's
on the
awesome.
Jumbotron.
Yeah.
So it's like it's kind of like taking over the world right now.
So
It's like the Rick Astley. It's the
right.
You've been Rickrolled. You've been Joe Hendry.
his thing at NXT when he performed,
Yes.
and those guys came in and destroyed
Gallus,
everything. Yeah. So I was like, that's very interesting and very
Yeah.
fun.
You need to watch his other stuff where his TNA stuff.
You go down the rabbit
where
hole.
He makes fun of people and he like AI images people's faces onto stuff and
That's
he
yeah.
makes
Even
he made
before
fun
that,
of Matt Cardona.
Yeah.
What was his name?
Zack Ryder.
Zack Ryder.
Yeah.
Like and him and Chelsea Green and everything. It's
Even before that, though, back when he was in Europe and he was on like their independent circuit,
Yeah.
he would make his own intro videos for each one and would like Weird Al songs.
Yeah.
With like the wrestlers' names and everything,
Right,
and like do all these different skits and things.
Yeah. He's a very
There's
funny
a whole
guy.
TikTok like rabbit hole you can fall
And he
down.
even did like the Deadpool paper face stuff.
Yes.
Where he would dance
everything was
around
like a
with
mask.
other guys'
he put
faces
like a
on.
guy's mask on it and like would dance around with the face on
Oh my
everything.
God! Yeah, I've seen his face as a mask, or
Yes.
people holding his face
Yes.
at Money at Raw.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, and their
interesting.
champion is a guy that he used to have has his own YouTube channel, and he goes around and does toy hunts and all that.
Oh, yeah.
Ethan Page. I followed him for a while. He's really good, so I'm happy to see him
At
succeeding.
SmackDown, they had their male and female.
That was
champions.
Ethan Page.
Was that
and
him?
then Trick Williams
At,
was the former champion.
Okay. Well, she had the belt, I believe.
Roxanne Perez.
Yes, and then the guy, did he have his belt? Was he the
Ethan Page? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
The guy with the glasses.
Right.
Yeah.
The random people in the audience stuff has been really interesting. Like Mark.
Well, that was them
Henry
like getting because you're gonna start seeing a lot more of that. I think
Because the CW changed.
because they're moving to the CW, so they're gonna be promoting NXT a lot more.
No,
So-
but like I'm talking about on SmackDown, they were doing it too.
Well, they did.
They had
That's what I'm
Mark
saying. You're gonna see it.
Henry
I think I see like tonight on Raw. You're gonna start seeing it because September is when they're moving to CW.
Yeah.
So they're really trying to boost up and like they're gonna start touring NXT now. It's not gonna be just out of the Performance Center anymore. They're actually gonna like tour. So the first debut episodes in Chicago and CM Punk's gonna be on it.
And then the second one's
Then
have
the second
Randy
one's
Orton.
in St. Louis, so Randy Orton's gonna be on it.
Yeah.
So they're gonna like hit like each place that they are, whatever town they're in is gonna be like a superstar that correlates with that town will show up and be like the host ambassador guy.
Yeah.
So that'd be cool.
Yeah. It'd be cool.
Yeah.
Like I said, Josh, I just don't have enough time in the day to watch it all, but I try.
Yeah.
That's what YouTube's there for.
Yeah.
So I do check it out on YouTube.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, the nice thing about NXT is it's only an hour, so it's
Right.
quicker. So
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
blow through it pretty quick.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. So without commercials, 45 minutes maybe.
Just
Even-
don't start getting to extended now. Now NXT is doing TNA stuff, and you don't need to get into that whole.
We'll even have their own like if you get like Peacock, they have like their own like developmental show for
Yeah.
NXT. It's like Level Up,
Yeah, level up.
so it's even more deep cuts.
Yeah. But that must be like behind by a month, though. I don't know if it's current. NXT's current
Level
on
Up
Hulu
is probably because
yeah.
it's like their Peacock show. It's like their WWE Network show,
Okay.
so it might be more current than other stuff would be. Like I know I randomly checked like Raw and SmackDown. It's like a month behind,
Yes, both are a month. I watch
which
them.
is annoying.
I have to watch. I watch them on Hulu.
Yeah.
They're current.
Yeah.
All right, we should wrap this up.
Yes,
We'll be back next week.
we will.
We got stuff.
We've tried to wrap this up multiple times now.
Well, Josh always is throwing. He's a producer throwing stuff.
He's trying to keep it to a certain time frame. He wants us to be a certain time.
I know.
He's got it set in his head how long the show's going to be.
Harukin.
So we're gonna
Especially with the introduction.
we got to hit this. We got to hit this point. How long?
Sorry.
I get paid by the hour here.
I get paid in pizza.
I get paid in Jolly Ranchers.
Okay, we got to go.
All right. As always, we'll see you next week. And be safe, be well, and be kind.
Rewind. Good night, Rocky.
Bye, Rocky.
Bye, Rocky.
Bye, Rocky.
All right.